Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Dyno here, and I want to say thank you so far for all the support everyone's been giving in the comments and Discord. Really makes me want to try to give you guys more stuff. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. And so here we are with another weekly Maplestory Classic video. So let me paint a picture for you guys. It's 2007, you've been grinding for hours for 30%, screening the free market for some equips or scrolls, maybe even trying to figure out your next cosmetic drip. You know what you're not doing? Quests. So typically speaking, in any MMO, you have story quests, side quests that still give you some kind of back-end story or NPC development, or some kind of extra flair for the main quest or even area that you're in, whatever. Back then, old school Maple had the same thing, yet for the life of me, I can't tell you a single quest I remember, other than the ones that provided iconic rewards. Things like scrolls and items, I can name a few quests on the top of my head. Things like quests that gave iconic rewards, like glove for attack scrolls, I can remember easily. Even the ones that gave Bonehelm or Pig Illustrated, even your first cape, the dingy looking raggedy cape. I remember those quests. Everyone's stuck talking about damage and EXP formula, class changes, all that. But what about quest rewards? I think the quest rewards are a cleaner leak than people trying to guess what the Maplestory Classic release date is. Because quests tell you what the game is willing to hand out, EXP, mesos, scrolls, items, at specific levels. That's setting the tone, not only for progression, but the economy as well. It's next on deciding who's broke and who's swimming in pots before you can even hit second job. And after looking at Classic World quest rewards side by side with pre-Big Bang references, yeah, this is definitely not old school Maplestory. It's tuned a bit, for the better, and some for the worst. So here's the plan. I'm going to take quest rewards we've actually seen in Classic World, and I'm going to compare them to pre-Big Bang rewards expectations, using the pre-Big Bang hidden street as a reference point. And it's kind of tough here to give Classic a reference point because we've already seen so many things that are post-Big Bang already, but I'll cover that in a separate video. Now, before I continue, I kind of want to give my history on quests, at least in the Maplestory context. To be honest, I can't remember any quest that was story relative. And what I mean by that is, back then, the rewards were lacking in most quests. They weren't worth doing because the EXP or the item rewarded just wasn't worth the effort or time. It was almost always better to just grind through the levels. Of course, you do a few quests here and there if you're grinding in the area, need extra pots, and especially the quests that rewarded items like something like a glove for attack scroll to either use or sell in the market. So what I've noticed is Classic World is doing three things with quests. Number one, inflating early EXP. Number two, throwing mesos at us early. And number three, tuning iconic rewards. And that last one, that's the one that could potentially shift the quest priority. So my hope for the future of Classic is they make quests important. I think I find myself a little bit more appreciative of Maplestory lore and the fact that Inkwell said it himself. He wanted to expand on the story and some characters, and of course the world as like an alternate universe kind of situation. Like, what if the Black Mage thing never happened? And it hit me. I have no clue what the hell he was talking about in the first place. I know it somehow got tied to later stories and classes even, but in Maplestory Old School, I have no idea. So for Maplestory Classic, I'd like to do quests to learn the story in a fresh environment, sure, but at the same time, I have limited time as well. And being a family man and working a full-time job, I like to play somewhat optimally as well. So let's start with a clean and simple one. Miss Ming Ming. In Classic World, it was noted that it gave 705 experience. While pre-Big Bang, it was noted that it gave 300. And this is a level 15 quest. That's more than double the experience right there. And if you're thinking, okay, that's just one quest. Nah, dude. This pattern shows up across the board. Classic is clearly smoothing early leveling, and by the way, if you look at the old EXP curve, early levels are tiny, and so that kind of leads me to another idea. Have the experience curves changed at all? But this is why even small changes feel huge early. Here's one that's even more revealing, because it touches scrolls, Pia and the Blue Mushroom. Pre-Big Bang, 250 experience, and a random reward, and this was usually a helmet defense scroll, 10, 60, 100. But Classic World, 809 experience, and the item became a 10% hat for accuracy. So Classic didn't just inflate experience, they may have swapped a historically useless scroll into something actually relevant for characters in that level range. Because defense scrolls in old school Maple, that was like, congrats, you got trash, bro. But accuracy is super early gains. It was early pain, and now it's like bet, less points into dex. So if Classic is handing out accuracy scrolls early through quests, that shows me that they're trying to reward those who venture off the grind. And just so you know, this isn't the only example of it. And just so you can see the spread we've seen, I'll take it slow. We've seen Phil's Call, 174 experience, Olaf's Training, 239, Ming Ming from 300 to 705, Black Bull's Quest from 50 to 174, Pia from 250 to 809, Jane and the Wild Boar from 320 to 1354, Proof of Companionship, a whole new quest line, 1525. To me, it looks like Classic is not treating quests like optional flavor, but treating quests like a secondary progression path. Okay, so now we gotta talk about this quest that made me sit back and really think about it for a second. Olaf's Training quest at level 8. 239 experience, 3 mysterious meso pouches, and 10 Songs of Solomon, which give 500 experience each. That's 5k banked experience points in your inventory at level 10. So let's compare this to the old experience table. That's about 2 levels from level 10 to 12, kinda eliminating another progression pain point. With this, now you're kinda able to put 7 points into your main attack and first job and start grinding with ease instead of using basic attacks. And we've already seen those meso pouches pop 20 to 30k mesos. Now we don't know if this is the min or max. We don't even know if it's fixed or if it's RNG. But I'm gonna say this clearly now. If the early game is printing tens of thousands of mesos at level 8, Classic World just deleted the early broke pain point. That changes everything. Potion pressure. No more having to stop the grind to sit in your chair. Taxi and travel hassle. No more having to walk across Victoria Island to get somewhere because you couldn't afford the taxi. The early market. Who can afford gear? Who can afford scrolls? This kind of thing potentially creates RNG funded characters immediately, which could mean at launch, people won't be different because they played super optimally. They'll be different because the RNG gods rolled them 100k at level 8. So let's go back to another clean comparison here. Jane and the Wild Boar. In pre-Big Bang, it was 320, plus a random pool of weapon attack scrolls at 60%. In Classic World, it's 1354, with the same scenario. So pre-Big Bang Jane was already a quest that threw a scroll into the game. Sure, but Classic is pushing more experience through the same level bracket and still keeping the nostalgic quest lines with the same rewards. And I brought this up in a previous video. Historically speaking, when the Jane questline was finished, there was a chance for a glove for attack scroll, 10 or 60%. We had some of the testers try and finish the questline, and some of the requirements had changed for the Jane and the Alchemist quest. From needing Melody ETC to Drake kills instead. But sadly, when they got towards the end, they were kind of soft locked out of completing the final challenge, because you needed to craft the moon rock. But with all the crafting NPCs locked out, this was impossible. So at this time, we still have no clue if glove for attack scrolls are weapon attack or attack power. Now, Camilla's Gem is a classic nostalgic bait. It was a jump quest. You get cake and you might get pig illustrated or a headband. And in Classic World, we've seen 2,132 experience. And then the mystery reward. It either showed up as a cake or the pig illustrated weapon. Not both. And we have yet to see the headband, so the identity of the quest is still kind of preserved, but Classic is playing with values and delivery. So again, I really start to worry if they change the experience curve as well, because will it hold the same pacing as it did? I know we've seen the bonus experience from party members, and I don't mind clearing up the pain points, but the grind is what made Maple. Don't ruin it, and some of this stuff really looks inflated right now. And I know Pig Illustrated got tuned, but you know what else got tuned? And for the worst? The Raggedy Cape. So mostly everyone remembers this quest, the Jane Doe, the random girl in Kerning who looked like a dead ghost. But what they really remember was, it was the only quest to reward you with the first and only low level cape. Until like level 50. So everyone was rocking this thing. It wasn't broken or absolutely needed by any means. It gave plus 10 avoidability, but this was a big chunk at level 25. It was definitely helpful in the lower levels for survivability. So now we go to what it is now. Not only has the experience been reduced, but the item also has changed to give +1 accuracy. I kind of think this is wild. Useless to mages, and some warriors now with their passive accuracy buffs. So I guess kind of good for thief and archers when they both have dexterity as a used stat, but I don't know, man. Someone make it make sense to me. And the funny thing is, this isn't the only iconic item they nerfed. Let's look back at the pick illustrated, less than 2 weapon attack or attack power, or whatever you want to call it these days. And again, only +3 accuracy. I mean, granted, classes are missing on snails, but given the accuracy buff to warriors, this is just really scratches my head right now. And there are actually a ton more examples of these iconic meta items that were nerfed, so much that they're either not worth using or completely useless. Which I think I might make that in a whole separate video because I don't want to get off topic here. So if this list holds up, here's what I think Classic World is doing. 1. Early leveling will be more quest driven. Less snails for 3 hours and more, the world is your oyster with quests. 2. Early poverty might be intentionally reduced. If the meso pouches stay, launch won't be the classic scene that everyone is broke. 3. The scroll economy may shift from mob drops to a quest, meaning that merchants will make alts to redo early quests more for scrolls or meso pouches. 4. Early/new players will diverge hard, because I'm sure like me, others would want to know what other quests have changed, experience, or rewards. Will questing be an actual viable alternative to take a break from the grind, or will it be as useless as it was before, only doing the good quests? So when people say I'm gonna be broke with no pots, can't wait to sit on my relaxer, I don't know, man. If the rewards are better, Maplestory Classic seems to be giving us a running head start early game. Not because everyone turned into a merchant, but because people are exploring the new Classic World, and the quests that have been adjusted. I really hope the quests that we haven't seen yet get similar treatment. It also makes me wonder the possibilities in Orbis or Ludi. So yeah, this is what's on my mind with quest rewards. Because quests are completely optional in Maplestory. This isn't like Final Fantasy Online where you're kind of forced to sit through cutscenes the entire time. But Classic World is telling us that they want players to have more experience early, more resources, scrolls, or gear. Let me know in the comments what your favorite quest was, or will you even be doing quests in Maplestory Classic. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more Classic World news and breakdowns. I'll see you guys next week.